Sim Update 12 has been released for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I know I spoke about it yesterday, so that's why today's video is incredibly short. I'll be talking about the main changes and linking you to the video yesterday, which goes into more depth. I'll also be talking about my experiences so far, but before we do that, I'd just like to say a massive thank you for helping me reach 25,000 subscribers here on the Pilot Stud channel. It is a number I never imagined I'd get to. It really does mean a lot. It humbles me, you know, being able to share my flight simulation and aviation journey with you all, keeping you informed and hopefully entertained along the way, really does warm my heart. And the amount of people, hopefully, I'm connecting through this wonderful hobby. So a big thank you to you all, especially those that have stuck around from the start. Now let's talk about Sim Update 12. It was released this afternoon at 3 o'clock, 1500 Zulu time. It was a relatively small update. If you weren't part of the beta and you downloaded it completely off the cuff, it only came in at 9GB, 8.7 to be exact. If you were on Sim Update 12 beta, the patch would have been a lot smaller for you. I know mine was only around, half a gigabyte, I believe, this afternoon. And many of the features you might have familiarised yourself as part of Sim Update 12 beta already. I know I certainly did. So if you'd like to hear more about that, please do check out my in-depth video linked at the top here. Let me just list through the key features as part of Sim Update 12. First off, WASM support. This was a big ask for Xbox pilots, and it paves the way for advanced add-ons, aircraft and applications to come over onto Xbox. You've still got to wait for the individual developers to release them, but the Antonov AN225 has already been released as by InnyBuilds, so that's a great start. It's an aircraft I really recommend. WASM support was a big ask, I know it was. The Asobo team took a while on it because of many delays and hardships, but we finally got it, so be sure to subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date with all of the aircraft that I'm sure will be released for Xbox in the coming weeks, months and years. I know Just Flight and PMDG are going to be big there. In terms of other improvements in the simulator, a multitude of improvements across numerous aircraft in the simulator, from the FS40 aircraft to aircraft we've seen right from the start, such as the 747-8. The change log on the website goes into great detail, and I'm listing it on the screen now, but I do recommend you go have a read of that if you've got a certain aircraft in mind. As I said, all the FS40 aircraft have received a lot of TLC, and then more, sporadic aircraft, from the 747-8 to the Cessna 172 G1000 to the Curtiss JN4 Jenny. Plenty of aircraft improvements to go around. Quite impressively, Asobo have gone through and updated every single world update released in the past, which is 12 now. All the way from World Update 1 Japan to the most recent New Zealand update. A rather impressive feat, if I do say so myself, going through and fixing some common bugs and issues, as well as making very local improvements to these world updates, definitely shows Asobo's commitment to the longevity of the simulator. They definitely get a gold star here. In terms of other improvements, as I spoke about in yesterday's video, weather has also seen some pretty good improvements, focusing on thermal dynamics. For example, thermals will no longer extend above the clouds, and live weather should have seen some improvements. I can also vouch for this with my experiences on Sim Update 12 this afternoon. Clouds definitely don't pop in as much, so definitely an improvement there. Clouds aren't perfect, there's still a long way to go, but baby steps is something I always like to see. In terms of optimizations as a whole, the platform should load up a bit smoother now. I experienced it on Sim Update 12. One thing I would say, the startup of Microsoft Flight Simulator is definitely a lot shorter now, and also a lot more stable. I remember back in the day, even a few months ago before Sim Update 12 beta came out, It was pretty commonplace for me to get crashes just on startup. I don't seem to be getting this anymore, touch wood. In addition, there's some rather groovy features, such as the ability to pop out aircraft windows, such as the primary flight display, reposition it, and now the simulator will remember it. This is a godsend for cockpit builders. It should mean you'll be able to move around your PFD and navigation display, McDo or FMC, and it should stay there whenever you load up. This, of course, was a feature that many of you may have got to grips with on Sim Update 12 Beta. And with AI traffic, there has been a multitude of improvements here, specifically focusing on live traffic. Now, I went around tracking AI traffic in Microsoft Flight Sim using FS Traffic by Just Flight, and while it's not 100%, there's definitely some noticeable improvements in behaviour. All in all, it has been a superb update, no issues in my opinion. It's small, but it's mighty, and it's definitely a big one if you fly on Xbox. I said at the start of the video I'd like to hear your opinions on Sim Update 12. Has it been a good update for you? Do let me know down below. Big news as well, as part of Sim Update 12, Asobo tweaked how jetways are basically spawned in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and this seems to be a bit of a godsend for those of you who like to use FS Dream Team's Ground Services X. Now, FS Dream Team have made a longer video explaining this, but basically Asobo have changed the way jetways are spawned in, which means that Ground Services X Pro will be able to detect jetways to a much higher standard, which means the most annoying bug, which was passengers walking on the air, has now been highly reduced. This was an incredibly infuriating bug, and I'm glad FS Dream Team have been able to mitigate it. It basically means FS Dream Team's Ground Service X Pro will be able to detect where the aircraft door should be in relation to the jetway to a much higher degree of accuracy, which is only good news. On that note, guys, there are most of the key points of Sim Update 12, a very good update in my opinion, but I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe if you did enjoy. I'll be reading most of the comments on this video. Of course, a big thanks to you all for letting me reach 25,000 subscribers. What a massive number that is. It really has humbled me. I'll see you around, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.